What's going on, YouTube? Here's a quick review of some Hario gear. You guys are probably familiar with the brand, been watching pour over videos and whatnot on YouTube, and you've stumbled across this or you're searching for it or whatnot. Basically, I bought some gear here. You can see we've got this one's the plastic dripper. I also have a ceramic dripper. This is the stand I just got. This is a small carafe that comes with another kit. It's not designed for this kit, and I'll get more on that in just a moment. But the whole thing, I've been tinkering around. If you've seen in my other videos, I have a different scale and some other apparatus, if you will, for making pour overs. But I wanted to start dialing in the pour and the method and the dosage and start to take it up a notch, if you will, and started getting fussy on weighing in grams of the grounds. Most scales that you buy, say at Bed Bath and Beyond or Target, Walmart, whatever, most kitchen scales that you buy have a wide variety in how they weigh things. They weigh them in milliliters, ounces, fluid ounces, grams. But one thing, when you're measuring coffee in grams, most of the other scales at the other stores measure in 1 gram increments. This particular model measures down, it's almost like a jewelry scale. This one measures down in 1/10 of a gram. But there's a caveat on that, and I'll explain that one a little bit further on in the video. So basically, you take this scale, and I'll measure out my beans. I'll put my beans on there. I go for about 18 grams of beans. Throw them in the bird grinder, and then I'm set. So what the Hario recommends is you take the scale and you take this device. This is just a plastic holder, if you will, or a stand, and set it on top of the scale, right? Put your carafe in here. Now this carafe I mentioned, they put a notch in the side so that the handle can swing through. Now this is a Hario carafe, but it's not designed for this holder. So when you put the carafe in here, it fits okay, but you'll notice the handles, it swings to the side, but the carafe does not sit flush. This is too large. Another thing I wanted to point out is that when you are measuring your coffee, this scale is great. It does 1/10 of a gram, like I explained earlier. However, once you exceed 200 grams, it then measures in increments of 0.5 instead of 0.1. So, why is that a big deal? Well, this is reason why. You put your stand on here, you put your carafe in here, or say you don't even put your carafe in here. Say you put your coffee cup straight in there. Put your dripper on here, put your beans in the top, and you turn it on, you zero it out, you start your timer like you're about to do a pour over, right? And as you start to, I'm simulating this, I have of course I have a spout, an S spout. As you pour in your water here, it drips down. Well, all of a sudden you're noticing, wait a minute, it's going in 0.5 increments instead of 0.1. What's the deal? Well, you've got all this whole apparatus here is added weight on top of the scale. So if it's on there and you tear it and it's 0, and then now you remove this, well, we're at -631. So the -631, when you put all this weight on there, even though it's zeroed out, you're going that much further over the 200 gram margin, which now changes the increments from 0.1 to 0.5. So now you can no longer, if you choose this method and tear it out and then sprinkle in your coffee grounds here to measure out to 0.1 gram increments, it's not going to do it. So something minor, but what I've noticed is there's just a slightly different way that you can do things. They recommend you place the stand onto the scale. I recommend this right here. Place this on the counter and put your scale right there. on top of the stand. This does two things. One, it allows you to accurately measure your beans or your grind in 0.1 increments. And two, it also allows you to measure the amount of water or coffee that's going into your cup or your decanter. So if you're aiming for, say, a ratio of 18 grams of coffee versus 350 milliliters of water, or grams, same thing. I usually keep it on a gram scale. What you can do now is pour the water in. Now you start your timer. Now you're looking for that fine line between your yield, or your output, if you will, of coffee versus the time. Before method, you could just pour 350 grams of water in there and just let it set, and it's all going to drip through. Your yield is going to be around 300 grams of coffee. So now you can actually pour. Look, I can put pressure in here. I can pour my beans in here. I'm pushing down right now, and let me tear it out. That's not moving. So I can do anything I want here, and it's not going to change. But once you start putting water in, and it turns into coffee, you can see it start to go up, like so. So that's my method of using the Hario, the V60. Just take the scale. A lot of them do it like this, which is okay. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. You can throw your beans on there, and then, your grinds, and then pour your water in, and it's not critical. But just remember, if the whole reason I'm purchasing a scale like this is you want to be able to measure your coffee grinds in 0.1 gram increments. Otherwise, if you're not fussy about your grinds, then just go spend $19 on a scale over at Walmart, or Bed Bath & Beyond, or get you any old kitchen scale will work. But the reason in purchasing a scale like this is to get down to the nitty-gritty, and that's something I notice, is that when you're trying to get down to that nitty-gritty and dial in and fine-tune your pour overs, you're not going to be able to measure their grinds in that setup. So anyways, that's my video. That wraps it up. Be sure to subscribe for future videos, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below and I'll get back with you. Take care, guys.